Lily woke in a clean and airy vaulted space at the heart of the Zeppelin. She was strapped down to a cold metal table. A row of globe lights hung from the tin-plated ceiling overhead. Professor Silverfish loomed into view, examining a tray of medical equipment on the side table. A cotton mask hung loose around his neck. He picked up a needle and he plunged it into her chest. Lily felt a sharp prick of pain, and then a push of a plunger, and everything softened into a blur of hazy shapes once more. She gritted her teeth. A queasy black tiredness flushed through her, but she wasn't going to let herself go under. She willed herself awake, remembering Mama's words. Fight, Lily. Fight for your life. Excuse me. That's what I want for you. The Cogheart rallied, responding to her request, and she felt its pulse beating stronger in her ears. With great difficulty, Lily raised her head. She could see Papa tied to a pipe on the far wall behind Professor Silverfish. She stared woozily at them both. It was almost as if their shapes were bleeding together. "Are there two of you?" she asked. "I can't quite tell you apart." "What did you give her?" Papa demanded. Lily could hear him, but it was as if the words were coated in cotton wool. She couldn't quite make them out. "Wake it out! Wake up!" Professor Silverfish picked up a bone saw and tested it against his thumb. "Just a small sedative to make her operation easier." "Operate?" Papa shouted. "On a moving airship? That's insane." Professor Silverfish laughed. "Not quite. When we land, surgeons will be ready and waiting to implant the heart into my body. That part would be far too risky to take place here. But killing Lily and taking the Cogheart, that's the easy part, and should be rather fun." He stepped over to the gurney. "Think about what you're doing," Papa said. "You're supposed to be her godfather." Professor Silverfish's lip curved into a contemptuous sneer. "And she's got my heart." "Don't let him put you to sleep, Lil," Papa shouted. "I'll get you out of this, I promise." Professor Silverfish laughed. "You, sir, are the one who got her into this. You should have given me the heart the first time. Then she'd never be hurt. 2 pieces of advice. Always honour your debts and let the dead stay dead." Lily tried to rally, shaking her arms and twisting her hands. Her bonds were a little loose. The leather straps around her hand had some give. If she could just stretch out and grab the knife on the table, she might be able to reach up and cut one of the tubes on Silverfish's heart machine when he leaned over her. Professor Silverfish turned back and saw what she was trying to do. He whisked the tray of tools away from her and placed them on a nearby table. Then he tightened her bindings until they were a bit harder into her wrists. "What were you planning?" he asked. "To cut one of my metal arteries?" Lily turned away, gritting her teeth, her blood pounding in her ears. "I thought so," the professor said. "The draft we gave you doesn't appear to have worked. No matter, it'll be far more interesting to do the operation this way. Don't you agree? You are an inquisitive girl, and I'm sure you'd like to see how the Cogheart looks working inside you. If you can keep up, that is, once I opened your chest, I'm told the pain can be quite immense. What do you think? Do you remember it from the first time?" Lily shook her head, trying to shake off the dizziness. Then she spat at him. Professor Silverfish wiped his face. Come, my dear, you're being quite impolite." He turned to Papa. "Did Miss Scrimshaw teach your daughter nothing at her prestigious academy, sir?" "Don't do this, I beg you," Papa gasped. "Too late now," Professor Silverfish told him. "You should never have renegade on our deal 7 years ago, when you ran off with what was mine." "I wasn't going to use it," Papa said. "I was going to destroy it. But then when you attacked my family, killed Grace, nearly killed Lily, I had no choice but to. I never would have given you the Cogheart, never, and nothing you could ever say would change my mind, for I saw you for what you are, an evil man. You used to help people, yes, in small ways, but it was never worth the bargain, because you used them for your own ends. Even the soldiers you helped when we worked together, you used their gratitude, their willingness to work for you, to make them to your private murderous army. If all you really care about is your life, and you bargain away those of your friends, kill loved ones they love just to save yourself, I would say that I was right about you. Your life is not worth saving. Professor Silverfish laughed. And who are you to say whether my life is worth saving or not? You don't get to decide, John. No, like everything else, it's survival of the fittest, and I may not be the fittest physically, but mentally I'm strong. Perhaps you thought I wouldn't live long enough to make you regret your decision, but as you can see, you were wrong. Life has a way of fighting through, and now it's time for you to pay the price for breaking our agreement with your daughter's life. Professor Silverfish gripped Lily's neck with his strong fingers. This is one good thing about everything that's happened, my dear. Your